Dire's bottom shrine is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Ah!
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Bye-bye!
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Even in death, you'll not see beyond the phantom veil.
Dominating. Double kill.
Out of the veil.
Boy, fresh meat. Triple kill.
To be chosen for death. The phantom flies.
I'll take your tribute. Arms for the dead. Get over it! Fresh meat!
My fire is the strongest of my kind.
That wasn't
Wicked double kill.
How many daggers am I holding up?
added structures.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Who put me out? I'm loath to kill another ginger, but for you I made an exception.
Get over here! Fresh meat! What?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And this is the middle of a live stream, but I wanted to quickly go over something I've been trying to do for a very long time, and it is a how
This
to
should make my life easier.
video. How to set up live streaming for Dota 2. So I'm going to assume that you have Dota 2 installed, and I'm going to assume that you have whatever game it is you want installed. If you're doing Dota 2, turn off Vulkan if you can help it. Hopefully you have a CPU with enough cores that you cannot do that. But quickly, I'm going to go over my settings.
For this, I
had
gave
such
up
plans.
immortality?
General, English, output, automatically record. These are all pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not really going to go into these. But over stream, pick your streaming services, and you're going to want to pick...
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Restream.io is a big one that will let you do multiple, but typically I do YouTube Live. So output. This is your video bitrate. This is the upload rate that you are using. For me, my max will go up to 15, but it's usually around 12, 13. So I'm using over half of the bitrate of my entire house, and nobody really seems to notice.
Dire are scanning.
Encoder. Hardware or software. If you use hardware encoding and you have like a GTX 1070 or even 1060, maybe even less, I honestly have no idea because I haven't done it, you will get insanely improved performance, but you won't get as good a quality. You get close, but you'll never really get the software X264.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fresh meat!
Down a dark road I go.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Will not notice that it's not live on their own. Like when I look at my Dota 2 streams, like my Dota 2 hero VODs, which are made in the same encoding, like my hero guides, you literally don't also ignore them. Never really get the software it is, and you're gonna want to pick one. Restream.io is a big one that will let you do multiple, but typically I do YouTube Live. So output. This is your video bitrate. This is the upload rate that you are using. My max will go from 15, but
Dire's structures are fortified.
I'm using over half of the bitrate.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
7,000. Encoder. Hardware or software. If you use hardware encoding and
Dire's top tower is under attack.
even less, and honestly, if I do, I've never done it. You will get insanely improved performance, but you won't get as good a quality. You get
Dire's
close,
top tower has
but you'll
fallen.
never really get the software X264. When you're encoding with software X264, you're gonna get to the point where if you set it up as high as it will go, people will legitimately, like connoisseurs of this, will not notice that it's not live on their own computer.
Fresh
Like, when I
meat!
look at my Dota 2 streams, like my Dota 2 Heroes VODs, which are the same encoding,
Yum!
my hero guides, you literally don't
Every coin
also
helps.
ignore the funny flying aid title. It's actually the name of a really good song by Desmian and Paul Flint. Check out Paul Flint and Desmian. Anyway, 7,000 is incredibly high. Is an incredibly high bitrate, and software encoding is the best. And it's also to the point where if you're going with hardware, if you want to get close to that software level of encoding, you're going to have to turn up your bitrate. And when your bitrate goes down, one of two things are going to happen. Your stream is going to stutter, which usually doesn't happen for most streams. What does happen is you get choppiness, and it's because there's too many objects moving on the screen. So like if you're playing a game where there's lots of weather effects, like it's literally snowing in your game or raining, all of those various particle effects means that more frames need to be encoded more quickly to get an accurate depiction of what's going on. Even though you have the same frame rate, you're still going to have to encode more frames. So you're going to get a degradation there. So like for instance, if you have a whole bunch of objects that appear on screen that weren't there before, your overall quality is going to decrease based on your
Dire
bitrate.
are scanning.
So like things will get choppier if your bitrate isn't high enough. Audio bitrate 160. I can't really give you too many guidelines on this. I know that 160 is, I think.
The Veiled Oracle chose you.
Let's get intimate.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Winter.
That went well, I think.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Fresh.
Invisibility. Juggernaut! Looks like it's just you and me.
Haste.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Has fallen.
Money to burn.
Boy, fresh mate.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
My losses.
Pin!
Merge with the sand.
I missed the mark.
128 is considered the standard, and playing a game where there's lots of weather effects, like it's literally VODs with performance, but you won't get as good a quality. You get close, but you'll never. People will.
Radiant's bottom
legitimately,
tower is under attack. Radiant
will not
structures
notice
are
that it's
fortified.
not live on VODs, which are literally don't like. Also ignore the funny flying games. It's actually incredibly high to the point where if you go in with hardware, if you want to get close to that software level of encoding, you're gonna have to turn up your best.
Fresh
The Sisters of the Veil honor your dead.
Unstoppable. Triple kill.
128
Don't think you're done with
long
me.
time to do this coding. So I'm using over
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
with 7,000
Mortal.
encoder, hardware or software. If
Radiant's
you use
bottom
hardware
tower is under
encoding and you
attack.
have like a GTX 1070 or even 1060,
Radiant's bottom
maybe
tower
even
has
less. I
fallen.
honestly have no idea because I've never done it.
Radiant's bottom barracks
You will
are
get
under attack.
insanely improved performance, but you won't get as good a quality. You get close, but you'll never really get the software X264.
Radiant's bottom
When you're encoding with software
fallen.
X264, you're gonna get to the point where if you turn things up as high as they will go,
Radiant's bottom
people
barracks
will
are under
legitimately, like connoisseurs of this, will not
Radiant's
notice.
bottom barracks has fallen.
Like, will not notice that
Radiant's
it's
middle
not
barracks
live
are
on their
under
own
attack.
computer. Like, when I look at my Dota 2 streams, like my Dota 2 hero VODs, which are made in the same encoding, like my hero guides,
Radiant's middle
you
barracks has
literally don't, like, also ignore the funny flying aid title. It's
Radiant's
actually
middle
the name of a really
barracks
good
has
song
fallen.
by Desmian and Paul Flint. Check out Paul Flint and Desmian. Anyway, 7,000 is incredibly high, is an incredibly high bitrate, and software encoding is the best. And it's also to the point where if you're going with hardware, if you want to get close to that software level of encoding, you're going to have to turn up your bitrate. And when your bitrate goes down, one of two things are going to happen. Your stream is going to stutter,
I'm loath to
which
kill
usually
another
doesn't
ginger.
happen for
But for
most
you,
streams.
I'll return the favor.
What does various particle effects
It's all coming back
means
into
that
focus.
more frames need to be encoded more quickly to get an accurate depiction of what's going on. Even though you have the same frame rate, you're still going to have to encode more frames. So you're going to get a degradation there. So for instance, if you have a whole bunch of objects that appear on screen that weren't there before,
Can't put me out that easily.
your overall quality is going to decrease based on your bitrate. So like things will get choppier if your bitrate isn't high enough. Audio bitrate 160. I can't really give you too many guidelines on this. I know that 160 is, I think 128 is considered
Radiant's
the standard.
top tower is
and
under attack.
something I've done from the get-go is I've been setting myself up for a long time to do this in a way where if I suddenly were able to make a living off of this, I would already have professional equipment. The webcam you're looking at is a 4K
Money to
webcam
burn.
that has been downsampled to 1080p, and it's running at 60 frames per second. It looks like it's close to 30,
Every
but
coin helps.
if I actually turn on this light, which is another side note that's important for streamers, you probably have already noticed that everything is smoother now. Like, really look at how smooth my hands are. Really get it, really like look at how smooth everything is, and then if I turn the light off, and this is still a pretty decently lit room, you should notice the frame rate has gone down some. Like, it's gone from the same rate as the rest of the stream to, I don't know, I'm probably in the 40s here. I'm definitely above 30, but it's still not quite light on me. Cameras in general are very
Radiant's
sensitive
top
to light,
shrine is
to
under
detect
attack.
things, and to create images for a lot of scientific reasons that I don't 100% understand. And what I do understand, I don't want to explain for the fear of giving you misinformation. But for a fact, the frame rate of that camera and the quality of that camera and the smoothness of that camera depends on lighting.
Radiant's
I have an
top
overhead
shrine has
ceiling
fallen.
fan that's spinning right now that you probably can't hear because I have noise. I have a noise gate enabled, which we'll get into later. But because of that, you probably can't hear the ceiling fan, but it does have 4 light bulbs on it. And when I turn on the ceiling fan lights, those are 4 light bulbs that put out a lot of heat. And very quickly I'll notice the heat in this room. Also, this software encoding thing, if you have an 8-core, 16-thread CPU or better,
Dire's middle barracks
you should be
are
using
under
software.
attack.
If you have an i7 that's got 8 threads, you probably still should be using software, but you're going to have to play with the settings. This setting right here is another big one. This is
Dire's middle barracks
your
has fallen.
king setting. This is an
Dire's structures
extremely,
are fortified.
extremely
Dire's
important
middle
setting.
tower
So
is under attack.
this is, in short, the slower this is, the higher the quality of image you're going to get in your
Dire's middle
stream.
tower has fallen.
And the faster it is, the less it will
Dire's middle
impact your
tower has
CPU, and
Dire's ancient is
the
under
more
attack.
of a bit rate you will need to get good quality, and the lower your quality will be in general.
Radiant
So
victory.
the default is very fast. With weaker CPUs, you'd turn that up to super fast or ultra fast. I don't know of anybody that has their thing running it slower. I do not. I don't think even people that use dedicated streaming machines re-encoding at 264 are down to